You got to go back to a 9-year-old kid that went from a perfect life to being molested when everything is stolen from a child at that point. The dreams, the trust, the safety. You walk this forward a few years and then my childhood hero, my dad, beats the shit out of my mom and leaves. So this is a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid. At 15, I found in a car I had just got from one of my friends, and they get pulled over, and they had just robbed the store, and I'm in the car with them. So then I go to jail. Well, the judge looked at me and said, "There's something about you, young man. I'm gonna give you a shot." Okay? That was the first time. Second time I heard that was when I got that job in the chemical plant. They had just fired a black dude. They had to have another black dude, so guess what? I just happened to be that guy. So they called me and they said, "Alvin, we have to replace the guy that we, had to let go. But I see that, you've been arrested. Can you talk about it?" So I told him the whole story, and he said, "Man, there's something about you. I'm gonna give you a shot." That was the second time I heard that. The third time I heard that was after running these mortgage companies and my life had almost fallen apart. 7, I met this guy. He told me he would help me because I had started my nonprofit a couple of years prior. So I tried to become the person that could fit in that nonprofit box and go buy all these houses across the country for $1. I did that, and I met Steve, and he said, "Hey man, what you're doing is really admirable. I like you, there's something about you. I'm gonna give you an opportunity." That was the third time I heard that. He told me he was gonna help me. He called him for 3 weeks and he didn't answer, and 49 weeks later, literally a year after meeting him, he answered the phone and told me he would allow me to come and see what he did for a month. That was after me calling him every week for a year.
Correct.
Picks up the phone. "Alvin Johnson, I'm tired of you." And that volunteerism led me to becoming the president of today what would be $1 billion plus company. Kept going, didn't quit. I'd already figured out I couldn't quit. Had already tried that. That didn't work. I'd already quit a couple of marriages. That didn't work. Quitting didn't produce anything for me. I was no telling where I'd be today. My whole life pivoted at that moment and started really what I believe today to be my purpose. And had I known that perseverance would get me to where I am today, I would not have fallen into the depths and darkness that I did at that time. This is hard work. The young lady asked me the other day, "Alvin, why do you do this?" Because now she's managing my schedule and managing this and that. And she said, "Man, this just makes me want to just be a normal person, like with a job and why do you do this?" And I said, and that was a really good question. And I said, well, your why have to be big enough. Because what happens when you got the money you need and you no longer hand them out? Like, if I don't work today, we don't eat Friday, or we don't eat tomorrow or tonight. When you get beyond that and you can have the ability to see a little further down the road, it's like, okay, now I can map this out a little bit. That's when it gets scary. You can get sidetracked. All these other shiny things start to come into your way. But how do you stay motivated, and what keeps you going when those things come about? Your why has to be big enough. The money is no longer the scoreboard. 20,000 units in 5 years. We're going to start 1,000 units this year. We're doing it because we can take population of workers that needs another chance, like I needed another chance. Create some jobs, careers that people would have never had an opportunity to do. We're going to do that all across the country. And I know I'm one phone call away from a guy that's got 5 million, 50 million, 100 million, one phone call away, that loves this mission, and they're going to pick up the phone and they're going to call me and say, "Come on, Alvin, let's go do it." So that's why I keep being so vocal about it. I'm not going to quit. I just want to make a difference. This old man told me, I might be that old man now telling somebody else.
Yeah.
He said, if you didn't have it, somebody else needs it. So you might ought to become that for somebody else.